All right, today we're going to do Lesson 91, Decoding Exceptions. You've already learned several decoding skills. You can use these skills for most English words. In this lesson, we'll look at some words that do not follow the decoding skills. When a word doesn't follow the decoding skills, it is called an exception. One exception affects many words, so you will learn this exception first. It's called shortening vowels. The exception is found in the following word, robin. So first I'm going to go ahead and prove this word. I'm going to mark the O, I'm going to mark the I. I'm going to go to my first working vowel, which is O. I see a B next to it, so I know one must run. Then I see that RO follows phonetic scale 3, so the O is long. But I'm not familiar with the word robin, so I'm going to go ahead and in my head I'm going to think, what if I switch that O from a long O to a short O? And now I see that the word is robin, and I know that a robin is a bird. So I'm going to mark the I short. But the word robin does not have another B, so we will have to shorten the vowel ourselves, which I just did. Sometimes it's necessary to shorten things, like your hair or your pants. In this situation, you need to shorten the vowel. It is easy to shorten things like hair and pants. It is not so easy to make short things longer. It is the same with vowels. Long vowels can become short, but never the opposite. To mark a shortened vowel, draw a short vowel mark above the long vowel mark, just like I did. There are many words like robin. Watch for them when you are reading silently. If you have decoded a word that doesn't make sense in the sentence, try shortening the vowel. Shorten it in your mind and keep reading. If you don't easily recognize these exception words, you will need to remember them. Remember, if the word doesn't sound right with the long vowel, try making it short. Let's look at these words. River. First I'm going to mark the I, then I'm going to mark the E. Then I'm going to go back to the I, the first working vowel. I see that there's one consonant next to it, one must run. I did forget to mark the murmur diphthong there. Now I'm going to look at the RI, which follows phonetic scale 3, so my I would be long. I've never heard of the word river, so I'm going to go ahead and convert that vowel from a long I to a short I and see if that makes sense. Now the word is river. There is a river in Chicago. That makes sense. Now I'm going to look at this word. First I'm going to mark the A, then I'm going to mark the I. I'm going to go back to the first working vowel, which is A. I see there's one B next to it, one must run. CA follows phonetic scale 3, so I'm going to make my A long. This word is cabin. I've never heard cabin, so I'm going to try to switch that A to make it short. Now I'm going to pronounce it cabin. Cabin, I've heard of a cabin. Also, the I is short because BIN follows phonetic scale 1. We like to go to the cabin on the weekend. Cabin. Next, we're going to talk about X in multisyllabic words. Another exception occurs in words that have the letter X and more than one syllable. If an X comes in the middle of a word that has more than one syllable, then you always divide the syllable after the X. Of course, as you would expect, this skill applies to words in which X is followed by another consonant. So let's look at the word expand. First we'll mark the E, then we'll mark the A. Now we'll go back and we'll look at the working vowel E. We have two consonants, two must split. EX follows phonetic scale 1, so I'll mark the E short. PAND follows phonetic scale 2, so I'll mark the A short. According to decoding skill 2, the syllables break after the X between the X and the P. But this skill also applies to words in which X is followed by a vowel. So this word is expand. But let's look at the word exit. First I'm going to mark the E, then I'm going to mark the I. This word is it's a two-syllable word, but there's a vowel next to the X. Typically this would follow phonetic scale 1, one must run. But with this new rule, we always divide the syllable after the X. Now we see EX, and that follows phonetic scale 1, so the E is short. And then IT follows phonetic skill 1, so the I is short. The word is exit. The actor will exit the stage when he is finished with his lines. Now you're going to practice. I want you to do the third column. The words are panic, study, exact, and solid. Go ahead and prove these words. Don't forget the rules we just talked about. They're all exceptions. Have fun.